Rolling. Late at night. It's not so simple. This guy who came to his brother, and he had asked him a shayla. The Rav looked at him and said, "Why are you coming to me to ask a shayla? Go to your Rav. I'm not your Rav." He looked at the Rav and said, "Are you kidding me? Don't you recognize me? I come to your shir every single night. You learn everything together. Even when Shabbos I come. Don't you recognize me?" Look at him. Come to my shir. I don't know. Hold on one second. Close your eyes for a second. Yeah, I recognize you. Coming out so late at night, you guys are here still to learn. Okay, we'll make it quick. Hopefully no more calls. This week's parsha is Parshat Chaisar. You've heard a beautiful word there in the right section is Tiva Shalom. A beautiful hair. I'm going to have another, my own shoulder. Thank you for remembering the last one. And it was tied all together. I think the bottom line over here is the Yetzer Hara. It's something that we all struggle with, and something that we have to work on, and perhaps help us to drop. Sarah died. The curious Arba. Avram came to give a hesped on Sarah. His wife died. We know the Medrash says that the son came to Sarah and told her, your husband went to your son, and she heard it, she got a heart attack and it was all over. So he came to give a hesped for Sarah who died. Maybe perhaps because of the Akedah that he just did, he went to Shep his son, Bilif Kaisa. If you look in the same story, you look in the Chumash, Bilif Kaisa has a small cup. Why does it have a small cup? It's a very interesting Malatur. Didn't do my glasses. Malatur says, Chot Ketana, it's a small cup, Shaloi Bacha El Ma'at. He only cried a little bit. With the Shezikna, Shezikna Haisa, she was already old lady. She lived a good life, so you didn't have to cry a lot. This is a Chayra Appella. What do you mean? Sarah Imenu. Sarah was probably from the most questionable women to ever live in Klal Yisrael, for sure. Everything she had. If she's not going to cry, you cry only a little bit. Why would Avram cry only a little bit over Sarah? We know that Sarah lived a full life. In fact, when it says, "Vayu Chaye Sarah Me'ah Shana Ve'esrim Shana Ve'esrim Shana," the years of Sarah war, 127 years, it says Shana Shnei Chaye Sarah. It's brought down from Rav Yaakov. Many people. Shnei Chaye Sarah. That these were the years of Chaye Sarah. That there's not shot that she died because of the heart attack that she had because of the Akedah. These were the amount of years that she was supposed to live. So the Velt says that the Satan, the Malach HaMavis came to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, "I don't like my job. Switch me. I want a different job." He said, "Why don't you want your job?" He said, "Because everybody's going to hate me. I had to go walk around and kill people. They're not going to like me. I don't like this job. Get me something else." So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, "Don't worry. I'm going to make something called a heart attack. I'm going to make something called Yelan Machla. There's going to be accents. There's going to be all kinds of things that can happen. So you'll be hidden. No one will realize that it's the Malach HaMavis. There's going to be things that happen, but the insight that you have to know that Abraham knew was that the time when Sarah died, when a person dies, that's the time when they were supposed to die. Now, it's wrapped up in a funny different thing. It could be that over here, the Satan came and said, "Hey, you almost killed your son, you shot your son," so she got all scared, so she died. That was the way the Satan got in there, but that was just the wrapping. But the bottom line is, it was Shnei Chaye Sarah. She lived the amount of years that she was supposed to live. She lived a full life, and now she was supposed to die. This was the time when she was supposed to die. So, a person, Abraham, could come now to the hesped over here, and he sees his wife, and he knows his wife died. The Lamaisa it was dressed up in a way to hurt him on that Kedah. One of the things that the Yetzer Hara does is, besides coming before you want to do a mitzvah and say don't do the mitzvah, he comes afterwards and he says, he wants you to regret what you've done. If you regret what you've done, the mitzvah, you can lose the whole schar of the mitzvah. So again, we know that the Satan came many times to try to stop Abraham from bringing his son to that Kedah. And he went in with the water, and he did all kind of things to stop him to do that mitzvah. But Abraham went straight and he kept going. He didn't stop. So now he came up with a new plan. We're going to get him to regret what he did. So he dressed himself up in a way that Sarah died because of the Akedah. So now he can have charata chas v'shalom on the whole Akedah. Hey, why did I do that? Because my wife died. And then he lose the whole schar of the whole mitzvah that he did. Abraham wanted to show, I'm not upset. I know he lived a full life, and I have no charata whatsoever on what I just did. Now I'm crying, hey, such a terrible thing happened because of my Akedah. No, nothing to do with Akedah. I don't have charata 1 second what's going on. I'm going strong with, and I'm not going to cry as much to show that there's no charata over here. And he points out that that's why last week's parsha by the Akedah, 3 times it says over there that they went they went together. What does Yaakov mean? That he went to do the mitzvah in full force, the best way possible. What did it say in the pasuk of days? Hashem wanted to test Abraham, so they went and all the different problems. By Yomer Abraham, the Lord stay here. By Yikach Abraham. He took the Atzi Oilo, at this point, they went Yaakov. At this point, Yitzchak didn't know that he was being shafted. It was only Abraham who knew what he was going to do, going to shaft Sarah. The Satan came with all kind of tricks, not to go and not to do it. Nevertheless, Abraham over here went with Yitzchak together with the same brand. We're going to do this mitzvah. I'm not letting anything stop me in the way. And the next pasuk, Yitzchak said to his father, we're going, here's the fire and the wood. Where's the set? At this point now, Hashem's going to show us the set. Now Yitzchak already chapped. I'm going to be the set, but he didn't let that stop him whatsoever. He went with the full force. He wouldn't let the Satan get into his way. As much as the Satan tried to stop him from doing the mitzvah, he wouldn't let him do it. And then at the end, after they did the whole thing, so they came back to the Na'arim. And there it says the same thing, that they went together. It says... They went together, Yaakov. That means even afterwards, so there's no charata whatsoever. It was all from the beginning to end. We say in Mara every single night. And I never thought about it until today. I hope I can even think about it for another day. We say in Ashkivenu, V'haseh Satan milfanenu u'miachareinu. You take away the Satan milfanenu from before us and afterwards. So the Sivir Shalom wants to say, what does that mean? Every time you want to do a mitzvah, there's 2 times Satan tries to get you. He tries to get you milfanenu before you do it, and after you do it, so you should regret it. How many times do we go and we meet somebody, an old lady asks us to do something, we end up going into their house and we end up, she makes us work for 2 hours and who knows what else happens and the whole place smells, or even a simple mitzvah that a person wants to do. But then at the end, he ends up doing so much more and they regret the whole thing. You lose out on that whole mitzvah. That's the Satan, even though he wants you to get you beforehand, he can't get you beforehand, he has to get you afterwards. And you have to remember, I had a yeshiva for 11 years, and it was very, very tough. And anybody who runs a yeshiva knows finances and then everything else that goes on in the yeshiva. It was really, really tough. At the end of the day, I went to Ramat Solomon and I said to him, I can't. I don't know what to do. He says to me one thing. He says, don't have charata. Don't regret what you've done or you'll lose the whole schar. So many times, you've done something good, but then you come home and you find out who knows what happened, and you say, I should have done it. And that's a big mistake. That's the Satan, he comes before, Satan milfanenu me'acharenu. And we have to recognize the Satan. How do we recognize the Satan? We'll get to that in a second. That really brings me to my second machshava, to my machshava that I have on this parsha. Because after this whole hesped that happened with Sarah, we have the story where Eliezer was told by Abraham to go find a wife for Yitzchak. And the pasuk says, "Ulai lo yisei va'isha le'chasachrai." Maybe the lady won't want to come. And what do we say? What do we know from Ulai? That Eliezer thought, perhaps I have a daughter. Maybe Yitzchak will marry my daughter. Abraham said, "No. I want you to go and you go where you have to go." And the pasuk goes in extreme detail exactly what happened. And he went, and then he looked for. He said to Hashem, "I'm going to ask the lady for." He saw that the water sprung up for her, and he said, I'm waiting. Hashem showed me a nes from Hashemayim. I'm going to ask her if she can give me a drink, and she's going to say, I'm going to give you and your camels to drink, and the whole story that happened. And after the whole thing, which was very clear that this was the shidduch for Yitzchak, he says, it says, "Va'ish mishtoim ha'oid ha'etzliach darkim loy." I don't have the exact words, but I'm going to spare you in a moment. So he was concerned. Is this the right shidduch or not? How could he be concerned? You see so clearly. You said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if the lady's going to say, I'm going to give you a camel also, what was this? And then he goes into Lavan and Besuel's house, and he says, the Torah repeats word for word. He tells everybody, they give him food to eat. He says, no, I'm just going to tell you my story. And he says over the whole story from the beginning. Everything that happened, blow by blow, the whole story all over again. Until the end, Lavan Besuel says, May Hashem Yatzadava, we see that this is from Hashem. And he goes, why did the Torah have to repeat? The Torah is every letter in the Torah, we learn something else from the Gemara is busy with every single letter. Forget about words. To repeat the whole thing over again, the whole story again, why did it have to be repeated again? And this is particularly interesting because when he met Yitzchak and he brought Rivka to Yitzchak, he said to him very quickly, he told over Yitzchak all the things that happened. What happened to the long story? Torah doesn't say a long story. I told him, just repeat it. So could have said the same thing by Lavan Besuel. Why repeat the whole story? Now, in we learn that Eliezer knew that everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he tested and he got the proof. But nevertheless, he's coming into Besuel's house now, and he sees, and they're going to say, he wants to make a shidduch with Yitzchak, and who's Yitzchak? I don't know Yitzchak. So he's going to tell, how is he going to, I'm telling you, the shidduch from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How do you know it's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So he told him the whole story and all the proofs, got to the point where Besuel and Lavan said, May Hashem Yatzadava. Yes, we see 100% that this is from Hashem. And so they agreed to the shidduch that they were able to see it. They came to Yitzchak. He did not tell Yitzchak the whole story. Yitzchak knows that everything from Hashemayim, the right one came about. So that he didn't have to explain it to him. But I thought perhaps a little deeper of a machshava. And this is something that resonated in my own heart. When a person, we know that bribery, when something negay l'maisa, something for yourself, your person's negay b'davar, it's very hard for a person to think straight. We know that relatives can't be witnesses for others. Why? Because l'maisa, they're related. You don't have that straight thinking. You can't be a betzin for such a person. You need to be able to think straight. Eliezer grew up in the house of Abraham, and he had this in him, and he knew this stuff. He knew that he really wanted Yitzchak to be his own son-in-law. So he knew that he was negay b'davar. So he was afraid to make this decision that this is the right thing, even though I saw all these nisim that are going on. He was so mesupik. I'm not sure if I'm atzliach or not, because I don't know if I can think straight, if I can understand this properly. So he said it over word for word to Besuel and Lavan, and they were the ones who said, May Hashem Yatzadava. You saying Hashem Yatzadava? So then the taka must be that that's the right thing. And he didn't have to repeat it again when it came to Yitzchak. A person himself has to realize that there's so many things that happen. In particular, to ruchnius. When it comes so many times, we want to make a decision ourselves, and we're not sure. Should we go to do a certain thing or not do it? And we make that decision. We have to realize we can't make these decisions because we are negay b'davar. How many times we think about ourselves, we get insulted because it was ourselves. If we said to someone else, it wouldn't be so insulting. But when it comes to us, now it's insulting. Why? Because it's negay b'davar. And you have to realize that. Everything that we do in our lives, if you're not connected to your Chashuv Rabbeim and your Chashuv Rabbanim over here, in everything that you do, you could be making a mistake. Because at the end of the day, when you look at something, you're looking at the way you want to see it, and not necessarily the outlook of the Torah, the way it's supposed to be done. And the Yetzer Hara gets in, this is how our connection to Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara gets in there, and many times he dresses himself up as the Yetzer Tov. How does that work? He'll make believe you should be proved, and ended up you're doing the other way. We'll explain that in a second. A beautiful explaining this in Parshas Machshava in Parshas Kisei. It says over there an interesting parsha, and we're going to be done. It says over here, the second parsha in Parshas Kisei says, Kisiena leish shetei nashim. The person has two wives. Va'achas ahuva, va'achas nua. One he loves and one he hates. The other one ma'avuva nua. Again, v'hoya ben apar l'sniya. There's two people. I don't know why I repeat sometimes the one he likes and the one he hates. So now he had a firstborn came from the one that he hates. So the Torah says, you can't decide now when it comes to inheritance that you want to give the pishnayim, before it gets pishnayim, to the son of the woman that you like over the other person. Right? This is genius. I mean, what's the Torah telling us over here? Of course, pishnayim goes to the Bechor. Who's the Bechor? The firstborn. Who's the firstborn from? The one that you love and the one that you hate. It's from the one that you hate. So that one gets pishnayim. Tell you can't do it that way. And what's this whole hating about? Everybody knows in the Torah the difference between sister and the. You're not allowed to hate anybody. So who's this hating person over here? What are we hating over here? What's going on here? It's interesting. I wanted to see where the parsha of Pishnayim is, where the Torah says to give Pishnayim. You know what the Torah says? It's right there. This is how the Torah tells us that you have to give Pishnayim. So I thought for their Drush, we can say the following. We're talking about here for their Drush, the Torah is talking about, a person has two yetzes inside. He has the Yetzer Hara and he has the Yetzer Tov. The Yetzer Tov is the Ahuva. The Yetzer Hara is the Senua. You talk a lot, I hate the Yetzer Hara. He has something that's going on over here, what we were just talking about. He's sitting here, it's 10:40, right? And now the shaila is what to do. Should we put in a full day, time to go to sleep. But then this little voice comes up in you and says, go to sleep now, 10:40. It's Maisa, it's Thursday night. Leil Shishi. Let's learn for another 3 hours. And that's going to be Geshmak. And we're going to get a mitzvah. We're going to be the biggest tzaddik in the world. We'll be up till 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, it sounds good. Sounds like a plan. It's not right. We should do something Thursday night. We're going to learn. The Eibishter wants that. Another voice comes up and then he tells him, hello, who are you fooling? You're going to be up till 1 o'clock tonight. That means tomorrow you're missing Shabbos. First Seder, you're going to be sleeping. You're not going to be able to learn properly. It's not the gay. Don't fool yourself. That's not true. Because I go to sleep late, I'm going to wake up late. Not bad. Now, which one is the Yetzer Hara, which one is the Yetzer Tov? It's a little confusing. We're not sure. The Yetzer Tov is telling us to learn more. And the Yetzer Hara is telling us not to learn, but maybe the Yetzer Hara is more practical tomorrow. The other voice comes up and says, who you fool? Lamaisa, I'm going to stay up and learn tonight. And I'm going to wake up before Shabbos and learn a Seder even before Shabbos tomorrow. Right? So I'm going to get double. And then everything's going to be good, so I'm going to be able to learn tonight, and tomorrow it's going to be good. Now you're all confused. You don't know what's going on over here. Which is the Yetzer Hara, which is the Yetzer Tov, how does it work? Look the pasuk over here. So you have the Achav Snuvels, okay? I can't tell the difference between the Snua and the Ahuva. I don't know which one is telling me. Which is the Yetzer Hara and which is the Yetzer Tov. I'm not sure what to do. So the Torah tells you want to know how to do it. You have a form and a snua yakir. You're not going to recognize that one from the snua, the Yetzirah. Lo says loy pishnai. When he's telling you, I'm going to learn tonight and tomorrow before Shabbos, and it sounds too good to be true, this is an old thing that we all know. When it's too good to be true, it's not true. And that's the Torah. And that's what goes back to what we said over here. When you're sitting over here and you're trying to figure out yourself, should I learn, should I go there and throw my life, how am I continuing it? If you don't have that Rosh Hashiva, if you don't have that Rebbe, that you go to with all your things over here, you have to remember that you have a Negias, you're a person that you can't think straight. When it comes to stuff about yourself, just like you can't paskin on a relative because you're negay b'davar, but it comes to yourself, you're certainly negay b'davar. And the Yetzirah and the Yetzirah are playing games with you and flipping you around backwards and forwards till you're not clear, you have no idea which direction you're going. God is something he comes from before and he comes from after, and he tries to get you everywhere. You gotta stick to your abundant, you have to stick to your abayim, know which way you're going. Talk it over with them so you have a clear mahal and you know which way to go, and make sure that you're going straight. Never regret what you've done. Keep doing the mitzvahs. Keep staggering away, and grow to be great Talmidei Chachamim.